Why are black people so loud? Is it because they can't control their mouths? Rumor has it that it is characteristic of black people from the south of the equator. But can it be equated to the days when slaves and all colored were hated, even without uttering a sound? I mean, they're so loud, like screaming dad of a new graduate proud, like, I'm happy she finished too, but can you sit yourself down? Loud like the atmosphere of the room after the exchanging of a couple's vows. Loud like the crowd after their favorite athlete received a brutal foul. But I think they're loud like how their voices should have been back in the days when they were slaves and getting beaten down. See, back when blacks were ornaments, it was the ordinance that hang these niggers in trees for subordinates should know their place, as they know their race conflicts with the mindsets of those with a white face. Disgraced, demoted, separated, and segregated. Colored folks, ill-fated for hatred, destined to be dominated by one they call master, however a term not elated. For when master was used, the ones murmuring it were abused, not because they had enough to prove, didn't win or even lose. They were beaten just cause, not innocent until proven guilty, more like they were at fault, for their hands were already filthy. Brown as dirt, guaranteed everlasting slavery, their destiny at birth. If you were colored, you were frankly heard, and at times even remotely noticed. The most outspoken person of its time only knew a few words were acceptable at the times when he or she were allowed to speak and dared to never speak their true thoughts aloud. For if their feeling, perspectives, and ideas gave light, the next light they'd see would be the crack of dawn being whipped publicly. In spite of the fight they knew was a loss, they vowed at the cost of their life they would earn their rights. And such just happened, but they never had a clue or imagined that it would take until the late 60s for the everlasting passion of past slaves' whispers to be discerned and earn a turn to answer questions about the subjects they have learned of, such as the subjects they used to be, scared tactically by the trees set afire and left to burn. Why is racism still a factor, whether a company will hire? If affirmative action was a person, he or she would affirmatively be a liar as a result of the actions resulting from the past, and such treatment would be passed off as a laughing matter. Back when being black meant you had lines up and down your back like a ladder, but unlike a ladder, you lacked upward mobility, so the ladder was a fact that had to be overcome for people to opt to run because yours and their skin didn't match. Back when colored folks and slaves' days were often numbered. Back when they couldn't find sleep, and when they did finally slumber, they remained afraid for when the time came they dreamt of being beat for their work deemed incomplete every week of every summer. Back when blacks seemed to have lacked all intelligence and their genes beamed that such beings couldn't get any dumber. Back how far exactly? Back how far would you say? Well, as far as I can remember, that was back to yesterday, but those days are over, or so we're forced to believe that a black and white male had the same chances to achieve. And here I was thinking, racism is still alive, but those days are over. Oh, am I relieved? Of my duties. For the truth, I have a black booty. By the man whose commonalities go hand in hand with mine and a mind we both use to our wishes, both benevolent and benign. But let's put this in the past. No, my niggers need to find reparations that we were promised from the proclamations that was passed, ensuring equal treatment, transcending time, yet all that has carried on. It's the same sad song we would sing, getting beat in front of the mass amount of people. It is because we are not equal that we have embraced the same traits of hard work and diligence results in less lashes above the waist. Transgressions of the past have enabled us to mold and shape ourselves for the better. However, we now speak loudly on behalf of our ancestors as a gesture to thank them for the consistent pressure they were under that now allows our words observed instead of being merely muttered. Acapulane.